各位觀眾大家好，歡迎收睇26分鐘見證實錄。卑詩省各城鎮將會喺今年嘅10月17號舉行市選，有唔少嘅現任市長已經表明會爭取連任，但係亦都有市長表示會交棒俾下一位有能之士。我哋會一連兩集嘅節目裏面，分別邀請咗大溫地區其中4個主要城市嘅市長，同我哋傾一傾過去3年多擔任市長嘅經歷同埋感受，以及喺新一年嘅規劃以及期待。咁喺今集，我哋就先聚焦溫哥華同埋本拿比，同呢2位市長進行新春年度專訪。咁喺今集嘅第一部分，我哋就會同大家去了解溫哥華市長沈官健對於自己3年執政嘅回顧，以及佢對於未來城市發展方向嘅諗法。
Ken Sim, and I'm the mayor of the city of Vancouver.
I'm Mike Hurley. I'm mayor of the city of Burnaby.
I am definitely running again. Our work isn't done here.
I haven't decided fully that I'm running or not running yet. I think that's the type of mayor we need, a visionary mayor who can recognize the real needs of the community.
回顧從2022年底上任至今，溫哥華市長沈官健走過充滿爭議，亦都高度關注公共安全同生活負擔嘅時期。佢表示，3年多以嚟最重要，亦都最具代表性嘅施政成果就係公共安全。
We fully funded the police department for the first time in 15 years, the fire department for the first time in 8 years. We've had a lot of projects go on since then, like Project Barrage, which was a concentrated focus on organized crime in the downtown east side. I'm happy to report, while there's still work to do, crime, or violent crime, is at a 23-year low in the city of Vancouver. All crimes across the board are down as well. We don't have encampments in the downtown east side anymore, including all the parks. And, places like Chinatown and various neighborhoods, they're a lot safer than they were, just 3 years ago.
除咗治安，沈官健亦都將另一重要成果歸功於市府財政嘅全面整頓。沈官健亦都提到喺眾多政策之中，振興華埠係佢個人最重視嘅一項。
Chinatown was one of the things that was dear to my heart, something that was one of the things that I will focus on as mayor forever. And Chinatown was in a rough spot when we came into office. And I say this respectfully, neighborhoods come and go. If we lost Chinatown, Chinatown would come back, but it would never come back as Chinatown. And so that's why we had a massive focus on making sure that we supported the community in Chinatown. And Chinatown's coming back, and it's still Chinatown. And we're pretty excited about the next chapter of Chinatown as it becomes more vibrant and more people come down to it, and it becomes more prosperous.
不過，沈官健亦都坦言，市中心東端仍然係佢任內最棘手嘅挑戰。
What happens in the downtown east side actually spills out not just to the downtown east side, Gastown and Chinatown and Yaletown, but the whole city. It has been a lot more challenging than it should be. And I think part of that, or a big part of it, is senior levels of government. We can do our part as a city, focusing on public safety, firefighters, police officers, and zoning bylaws and what have you. And we've done our part. The root cause of all the challenges that we see now is really the responsibility of the province and the federal government as it relates to healthcare. We have a lot of people that are very sick there that shouldn't be on the streets, but they are, because the provincial government, the healthcare system, isn't taking care of them. And because they're put in that position, what happens is, to feed their addictions or to get by in life, it turns into criminal acts. Or you could have people that are just really sick that, not only harm themselves, but harm innocent bystanders. That's the province's responsibility.
而展望2026年，沈官健就提出3大優先方向。
Public safety is the number one priority. So public safety, we've done a lot of work. The place has gotten a lot better, and there's still work to be done. And we're the only administration that is actually pro-public safety. Everyone else is against it for whatever reason. I think it's absolutely crazy. And so making sure our city's safe, so people can walk down the street and enjoy our city in a safe manner and they don't have to worry about getting hurt. That's the first one. Second thing, fiscal responsibility. That's just our background. We should always be conscious of taxpayers' money and making sure that we spend it wisely and making our city more affordable. And that's why we want to be very clear. We want to send a signal out to the entire city that Vancouver is serious about keeping the city affordable. And we are coming in with a 0% property tax increase this year, and that's the first of many to come. And once again, ABC is the only party that wants to do this. Our opposition, all the other opposition parties want to increase property taxes, and most of them want to increase them by about 7 to 8% per year. So I think that's the wrong thing to do, especially when we're going through an affordability crisis. It doesn't help. And the third thing is, like I said, focusing on what we should be doing is core services. It sounds boring, but fixing potholes, fixing roads, fixing sidewalks, investing in community centers and parks, those are the things that we should be doing, and we are going to do it.
放眼長遠，佢希望溫哥華成為一座充滿機會嘅國際城市。
I truly believe that prosperity comes when you have a vibrant economy, you have a vibrant ecosystem where people want to be here because it's a great place to do business or it's a great place, to have a career. And when we do that, we will do incredibly well and everything takes care of itself. And so, we've already started that. We've signaled to the entire world that Vancouver is open for business. We promote our city, so we flew down to Los Angeles to lobby to get The Last of Us, which is a big TV production. We traveled the world with the decision makers to help land Web Summit, which will bring $500 million of economic activity to the city of Vancouver. We are, doing everything we can from the city's perspective to keep the Whitecaps here, which includes creating a path to build a new stadium and an an entertainment district that will add jobs, great jobs, and vibrancy to the city of Vancouver. We are, big supporters of FIFA World Cup, and I think it's important because most administrations, including all of our opposition, they want to turn down World Cup. We landed World Cup. Jointly, with the province and what have you. But I want to be very clear. The city of Vancouver is on the hook for $5 million. That's our exposure for the equivalent, 7 World Cup games, which is the equivalent to 30 to 40 Super Bowls. That is arguably the best deal Vancouver has ever made, and we will do that deal every single time. The economic impact to the region is going to be over $1 billion. 1 million visitors are going to visit the region over the next 5 years because of FIFA World Cup. And the city of Vancouver is only exposed to $5 million. It's an incredible deal. So we will continue to do these things to promote prosperity in the city of Vancouver, in addition to what we should be doing, which is clearing up regulatory red tape, getting rid of excess movement and waste in the city of Vancouver, so businesses and organizations can not only survive but actually thrive, and that's what we're committed to doing.
隨住2026年10月市選將至，岑官健正式表態將會競逐連任。
I am definitely running again. Our work isn't done here. We've done a lot of great things, and we've set our course, our city on the right course, but we still need another term. What type of mayor do we need? Well, I'm a little biased. I think we have that mayor already. A mayor that's willing to be bold and who's also humble enough to admit when we've made mistakes. And look, we've done some pretty bold things. when it comes to removing the encampment, making investments in public safety, coming up with the 0% property tax increase. And yeah, we've made some mistakes along the way as well. I'll be the first one to admit them. If I could redo a bunch of things, I would redo them in a second. But I think that's healthy. We're not going to be perfect. And I think the focus on the mayor, while great, I think it also misses the point. We're a team, and for myself to be able to affect any changes whatsoever, we need a majority on council, right? And so while I may have a vision for the city and we can be bold and we can make the hard choices that not everyone's going to agree with, but they are the right decisions, can't affect them if we don't have a majority on council. And so if people like the direction of our city in terms of it's gotten better than it was in 2022, what we're asking is, please, vote not only for me, but a majority of ABC councillors, park board, and school board candidates, so we can continue the work and, get to the vision that I described to you in your earlier question.
馬年新春將至，溫哥華市長沈觀健亦都向華人社群以及全體市民送上新年祝福。
恭喜發財，新年快樂。I just hope everyone has an incredible year, prosperous year going forward with their family and friends, and they get to enjoy our city and enjoy their family and enjoy life.
溫哥華市長沈觀健明確表示佢將會喺今年嘅市選之中繼續角逐市長。咁至於另一個城市本拿比，市長侯邁浩又將會點樣推動佢嘅施政計劃呢？對於呢一座城市嘅未來，佢又有啲乜嘢嘅佈局呢？我哋下一節翻嚟再睇。歡迎翻嚟節目時間。2018年10月 ，Mike Hurley 侯邁浩以獨立候選人嘅身份參選，擊敗咗長期任職嘅 Derek Corrigan， 成功當選本拿比市長。2022年卑詩省市政選舉之中，佢更加係以冇競爭對手嘅情況之下順利連任。呢一位市長對於本拿比嘅未來有啲乜嘢具體規劃呢？過去一年，本拿比又經歷咗啲乜嘢嘅挑戰同埋機遇呢？近年嚟，本拿比喺快速發展之中不斷轉型。回顧過去幾年嘅施政，侯邁浩認為最重要嘅成就，咁就係令市長辦公室更加公開透明，俾市民能夠更加直接咁去了解同埋參與市政。
The most significant accomplishment to me is the opening up of the mayor's office to really invite our community to come and talk to me and talk to council and be sure that everyone felt a big part of the community. And, that was very important to me that people know that they can come and talk to me, and I will go and visit them in their house if they want me to, because that community engagement and understanding the community, especially a very diverse community like Burnaby, 120 different languages, just to be sure that they felt that this is their city hall, and it's their council, and they don't think that we're up there and can't be reached. That was always a very important part of what I wanted to be able to go all out, have real conversations, and when I say real conversations, I mean mostly listening on my part to what the community really has to say. Along with all the infrastructure projects that we have really moved along, we're really catching up now on community centers, swimming pools, that we were starting to fall behind a bit on. And so those two things I think would be my most, what I would see as my accomplishments, and that people all feel, I hope, in the city of Burnaby that they can come and have a real conversation with me and be heard.
談及任內最大挑戰，市長指出房屋問題仍然係市內嘅頭號難題，尤其係可負擔房屋。
Housing remains, has been and remains, the right type of housing and affordable housing remains the biggest challenge. I mean, we tackled it in so many different ways. We put in some renter protections so that people couldn't be moved out without having a place to stay indiscriminately. Like we couldn't have people that lived in our city for 30, 40 years just being told you're out and you have nowhere to go. So we really worked hard towards that. We brought in, I believe, the strongest renter protections in the country, in Canada, so much so that many people come here to find out what we have done, and that's across North America, actually, and how we've managed to achieve that. And we managed to achieve that through giving developers extra density, as long as they built the right type of units that people could move back into the buildings that they were replacing at the same rents as they left. So that was a very important start to what we did in housing. We started to recognize the need to look at unhoused and how we were going to manage that. We had a mayor's task force on that. But, you know, we have really, and we've started our own housing authority to try and get more affordable housing, because it's really important that we can keep our workforce in our city. It's wonderful to have these businesses, great businesses that we're so fortunate to have in our city, but they need the workforces. And if you don't have affordable housing, people are going to move further and further out, and that just becomes the logistics of all of that related to everything we want to do as cities is just too great. So we have to continue to work on that housing spectrum so that we're delivering the right type of housing for seniors, for the workforce, and for young families who want to stay, live, and thrive here in our city. So housing's the big challenge. We think we've tackled it head on. We've done a fabulous, last year I think we had record number of permits again within our city. So we're meeting the challenges head on, but there's a lot more to do.
面對全球經濟不確定性，司長將2026年嘅3大優先事項鎖定喺穩定經濟、房屋同公共安全。
The world is at a real flux right now in economic turmoil. So be sure that we're building a place where businesses can come and thrive, and working with our business community. You'll see that I'm having a mayor's task force now on economic stability. And we've picked a wonderful group to be on that from our business community. So that has to be, because the world is so uncertain right now, building a very stable base where businesses know they can come and be stable in the world and things aren't shifting too much. I think that's got to be a priority so that the city remains very, very viable. And we're the center of the Lower Mainland. That's our strength, and we want to build on that strength so that businesses really have a good feel like they're being listened to as well, but also that they know that their government's working with them and for them to thrive. Housing, again, that is always going to come up, and keeping government affordable too. Looking at how we can hold taxes at reasonable levels while still delivering the very important services I know that people want to see. They want to see good police, they want to see good public safety, they want to have wonderful community centers, and we're certainly building 3 new ones of those. So we'll continue with those priorities, but always with a lens on, how much can we do and not building too much too soon. The arts community are looking for a bit more from us. So all of those things are priorities, but we have to do them in the right way. So we'll keep working through those priorities, and I think our council has been very, very good at recognizing when we need to do more or do a bit less of certain things. So.
放眼未來，佢指出本拿比將迎嚟高密度城市嘅新面貌。
2036, I think by that time we're going to see many more high rises within our city. I mean, if Brentwood builds out to its full capacity, we know that if it builds out the way we're planning it, there'll be 85,000 people alone living in Brentwood. And maybe not by 2036, but certainly by 2040, 2041, Metrotown is projected to have 150,000 people. So you're going to see much more density, especially around our town centers and around our around where the SkyTrain stations are. That will continue to grow. We need to focus on our north-south routes, how we're going to deliver the right transit to service that type of density that's coming. So we're going to continue to see great changes, especially in how we move around the city. We're likely going to be seeing self-driving vehicles by that time in some level. So there's a lot of preparation that goes into all of that, and our planners are really on top of that. We're very fortunate to have great staff who have a lens to all of those things. So the city will certainly look a lot different, but while retaining Burnaby's roots. And Burnaby's roots are still that we're a very gritty city who look out for each other and are very community-minded, so we have to keep all that in mind. So yeah, so that's how I think the city will look different from more density. How we move around the city will certainly look a lot different, and it has to look a lot different because there's no more roads. So we have to figure out better transit routes, especially, as I said, north-south. We're fairly well served east-west, so that's how the city is going to change and really change. And I know some people love that, some people not so much, but that's how the world is going. There's 8 billion people in the world now, and we have to realize that standing still is not an option.
針對即將到嚟嘅2026年市選，侯邁豪表示自己是否連任仍然係未知之數。
I haven't decided fully that I'm running or not running yet. That's a conversation I will be having with my family. Because we're all so busy, we don't really get a chance to sit down and talk about those things. But I think the city needs a mayor that's engaged with the community, and who responds with the community and recognizes the great diversity in our city, and that every person in our city is important. Every citizen in our city deserves to be listened to, and we need to be very focused on the future, because we all know the world is changing at such a rate that no one could have envisioned. And keeping up with that technology, AI, and all the changes that will come with that. So there's definitely going to have to be a mind that's focused on the future, because the future is coming at us really quickly. And so I think that's the type of mayor we need, a visionary mayor who can recognize the real needs of the community.
臨近農曆新年，侯邁豪亦都向觀眾送上祝福。
Well, first of all, 恭喜發財, and I know that's the year of the horse is coming, and so there'll be much excitement around Lunar New Year, as there always is. I look forward to attending many of those events and enjoying them. But for the community, who I work very closely with and have the pleasure of singing songs with many of them and things like that, just have a wonderful, prosperous Lunar New Year, but the whole year ahead. But most importantly of all, please stay healthy and look after yourself, because at the end of the day, health is what matters most.
好啦，今集嘅節目時間差唔多啦，下一集我哋會有列治文市長馬寶定同埋蘇理市長 Brenda Locke 嘅專訪。如果觀眾咧對我哋嘅節目有啲乜嘢意見嘅話，係好歡迎大家以電郵嘅方式同我哋聯絡㗎。我哋嘅電郵地址係 mag26@fairchildtv.com。如果觀眾咧想上網重溫今集嘅節目，亦都可以上到去我哋嘅網站3w.fairchildtv.com， 點擊節目重溫一欄就可以睇得返㗎啦。下星期同樣時間再同大家見面，晚安。